What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. He's from the DoD clan. His name is Joe. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos, also from the DoD clan. His name is Shelty. The map is Marsh, and this is the final game of the finals. To end all finals. No, this is the last game of the best of 7 between Shelty and Joe for the RTS-Sanctuary Christmas tournament crown. Whoever wins this game leaves it and will be crowned for eternity for the 2019 tournament there. Shelty managing to claw this back with the going for the reverse sweep down 0-3, has managed to bring it back to 3-3. Playing Oranos, he lost with Loki, Thor, and Set, and now he's going to be attempting to bring it back all Oranos all the way. As someone has once said, Oranos adds 100 real rating points to your rating. We do see that Joe's going back to that Isis. He had success with it. I don't know why he left it. He's going back to his main. This is for keeps. If he loses, he's out. He only comes second. Well, I guess he comes second. But if he loses, he doesn't come first. So he's going for it. Probably going to see his patented Anubis play. Love it. Love when I see Anubis play, especially against Atlantian. It's really difficult to deal with those Anubites. They can jump around and do so much stuff. Also, options to go for a fast heroic on this map with Marsh. Completely viable. Getting that Ancestors Eclipse and getting Scorpion Men out. Or Sphinx. And really putting on some very strong Sphinx, Eclipse, and Ancestors Aggression or Scorpion Men. Eclipse does so much stuff for your Myth units. And if you get a couple of them out and get it in combination with Ancestors, that's the dream right there. We do see Bridle of Pegasus has been picked up. Tower of Cetus is on the map. What else we got? Arrows of the Alpha there as well. And Pygmalion's statue. I believe that's how you say it. Or Pygmalion. I'm going with... It could be Pygmalion. No, Pygmalion. We're going with Pygmalion. 40% villager hit points. That one's great for the Oranos player. It's already hard enough to pick off citizens. But then on top of that, you know, there's just not much you can do to kill off their villagers with that relic. However, seeing a super aggressive obelisk here. We have the potential for Anubis. We have potential for early prosperity, Anubis priest aggression. I say this all the time. Egyptians can do so much damage. You send your pharaoh forward. You send like 5 priests forward at the 4-minute 30 mark when they advance. And there is nothing they can do with it. The only real response to it is to go 4-minute advance and essentially get out Murmillo straight away. And it's super difficult, but you can defend against it. You grab a early watchtowers and get Murmillo. It's kind of the only real option there. And we're seeing citizens move out here, going to be tempting to grab some of those hippopotamus, and the priest is out here spotting that already. So I'm super interested to see what Joe decides to do. He is chucking up a temple with 2 villages, which means he wants to advance super fast. So potentially going for that ultra fast aggression, or going for a super fast second town center. Those are the 2 kind of options with this build order. So we'll see what is going to happen there. I would really like to see the aggression though. We haven't seen that cheese happen just yet, and it's so delicious. It's so tasty. We're seeing Anubis coming through. We're seeing villagers move over to gold. So it doesn't give away it until he starts producing those priests. He's moving his pharaoh over. Going to be casting that prosperity. He needs to fix up these villages. You can tilt your camera over here and click just those villages over. This is the lazy man's way to do it, which Joe's done there. You're grabbing all your villages and clicking over, but the fastest, most efficient way is to tilt your camera, grab the villagers out of position and move them in there. You're going to see him dropping off this relic a little bit. I'm not sure about that. Could leave him over here and scout, and then you can bring him forward and see what happens there. No prosperity getting cast here. Pharaoh is going to be moving over to this location. Not sure what's going on here. No real houses coming out just yet. Monument going up though, so that's pretty important. Potentially moving forward to grab another relic or something. We're seeing houses going on all over the place. And with that second monument, I'm not sure exactly what the plan here is. He is moving his Pharaoh forward, and there's a priest moving forward as well. So the plan is early attack, not all in. So he's going to be building a couple of priests, and he's probably going to go for a second town center off this. Instead of going for the 5 priests, 3 priests. This is even more defensible, but you're not all in at all. So we are seeing villagers moving over to this location here in order to get some of that gold. Anubis gets cast straight away, so this kind of makes this gold mine not usable, at least for a little bit. These Plague Servants deal so much damage. 7 damage a shot. Pharaoh moving in, going to be picking off a villager as well here. If we jump over to Shelty's perspective, Shelty's almost in that classical nature through Prometheus, but he needs to retask this Promethean to spawn over this location so it doesn't get picked off straight away by these priests. And Pharaoh hasn't done it. Promethean's going to spawn. They're going to get picked off straight away. You just need to target that guy. Unfortunately, he's targeting those citizens. The Promethean is going to fall. Anubite coming out, going to be searching for something here, but if we jump over to Shelty's perspective, he should be grabbing watchtowers straight away. You got to grab watchtowers in this situation. If you don't grab watchtowers, you're going to be falling super far behind because you're not going to be getting any gold. But no, we don't see any watchtowers just yet. And the Anubite is going to be stopping this barracks from going up even. Going to be attempting to get the barracks out, get some of those Mermillos going. He can get a couple of those out, but that second town center should be on its way. Or what's going on? Yeah, he's going to be moving forward, grabbing this second town center here. So Joe's going to get really far ahead. Doesn't have the food just yet because he's just transferred these villages, but he can just dump that in there. We do see a Pegasus here just to add insult to injury. There is no knowledge of this gold mine though. So if Shelty can sneak out of here, which he may be able to do, he may be able to start mining gold on that location there, but Shelty has no idea it's there either. So unfortunately, he's not going to be going for that one. Has so much food in the bank at this point, but could potentially just send some of these villagers forward in order to grab this gold mine. But Shelty's just going to fall further and further behind if he doesn't attempt to go for it. He is grabbing that the valor here, so he's going to be able to kill off these snakes and then move forward onto this gold, and then potentially can cast the watchtowers, but that's not necessary at all. Grabbing that second town center is what's going on for Joe. So Joe's super far ahead at this point in the game. 27 population to Shelty's 37 though, so he's doing okay. It's not like he's out of it. He's had constant villager production except for the housing situation he's been in. He's going to be able to start building the next counter barracks, but the army is super delayed. It's so far delayed that Joe can pretty much just boom at this point and get really far ahead. There's no second town center in sight for Shelty. Might be an idea for Shelty to just not build any of those military units anymore. Cut military production completely. Grab the second town center as he's forced his opponent out. Potentially catch back up there. Does run past the Tower of Cetus, which would have been a beautiful relic if he grabbed that early watchtowers. But it seems like Shelty, not knowing this strategy too well, didn't know what to do to react to it. We are seeing the Murmillo move in at this point, going to be attempting to find something to raid, but Joe, way too far ahead of that, has access to all the pigs. That's insane. We are seeing Shelty attempting to move in here, but he's going to be shoot away there by those Murmillo. Going to be moving over onto the wood here, and he's going to start building some of those slingers. Slingers are the unit of choice there for Egyptian players going for the second town center. Means they can produce villages constantly without any hassle, and there's so much hunt on this map. Once you get this second town center, you have access to this hunt patch, you have access to this hunt patch, 6 boars, 300 food each, and that's 2 patches of it. It's just insane. We are seeing that Shelty's now moving in, going to be attempting to pick off this Pharaoh. If you can pick it off, it's going to be pretty nice, and the Pharaoh does manage to survive there with 1 HP, it looks like. 1 HP there, and he's going to get picked off. Oh, no, nice micro there. Saving that Pharaoh, doing a real nice job there to save that guy. Really want to get that guy healed up at this point. Sitting at 1 HP is not something you want to do. Is managing to do that one at that point as well. House going up as well for Joe. Joe's got enough population. He does not need 2 villages. Building that house. Shelty, on the other hand, is kind of getting his economy together, but the Anubite is stuck. Interesting. Nice. Use the Valor here. Oh no, he's going to be able to jump out there. He's a little bit slow on the Valor. Anubite going to be running away at this point in the game. We do see, I'm not sure at this point what's going on. I feel like Shelty maybe is totally fine, but he's just under so much pressure that he's missing things. Like, he should be having that mana up a little bit ahead of hitting population. You always want to be having it up 5 you want to be building it when you hit 70 population, not 75. And if you can stay ahead of it, you just get that flow coming and you don't hit any of those roadblocks. At this point, he's sitting at 200 wood, 200 gold in the bank, when he should be at 70 or 50 wood in the bank and 50 gold, because you'd be building those units a little bit quicker. And it's those efficiency things which are going to allow him to get, like, basically stay in the game at a strong rate. If we jump over to Joe's perspective, I'm expecting to see him grabbing an armory. He has got that armory up. I'm expecting him to see him go to that heroic age fairly soon and transition into Scorpion Men. Anubites, while they're strong, don't do all too much. We are seeing villagers getting pulled off the line there. He's got a pretty large lead on the villagers, so he can use those as an army. And he's only got 1 barracks. Again, when I see this from Joe, I'm not sure if I understand it completely, why he doesn't just use another villager, build a second barracks, and spam those units a little bit faster. I mean, maybe it's because he's trying to delay units, but he can just turn off auto queue if he feels like he's built too many. But maybe that's just too much of an ask there. So these guys are just going to chill here for a little bit and see what's going on. We're seeing some houses going up for Joe. Joe's running out of food as well for some reason, probably because of the Axeman getting built, and he's had to have a little bit of delay here. He's able to pick off an Anubite there, which is going to be a nice win there for Shelty. Means he doesn't have to defend against the raids anymore. There is 1 monument, no second monument yet. And for some reason, Bridal of Pegasus has been ungarrisoned. I guess it does cost 1 population, but you kind of want it, and you can delete it later when you hit population cap. I don't see why you'd ungarrison it so early. But anyways, that's his choice. So he's going to be just trying to defend here and sit on the back foot. One thing you have to realize about this aggression is if you don't do all the damage, you've wasted a god power and you've wasted feral empowerment time as well. And if you lose your priest and pharaoh, you lose that gold that you invested in them as well. However, I feel like Joe didn't lose anything. It's just that Shelty's not able to recover that well just yet, but he is grabbing that second town center, which is a good move forward. He is sitting in ahead at this point in terms of that population, but again, no manners on the right time. Can build the manor out here if he chooses to, but he's not doing it just yet. We are seeing the slingers going to be trying to pick off these units as fast as they possibly can, but they kind of just walking through there, feeling fine. Moving back over to this location here, going to be defending the settlement going up, and it should turn into the 3 town center versus 3 town center situation. Joe could be potentially, he has got that second barracks up, but I reckon at this point he could afford 3 barracks. You see, 3 barracks is grabbing slingers. He'd be at 0 wood instead of 300. Again, it's those small things that really make a good player good, and if we could see that happening, it would be nice. But Goldmine is going to be extinguishing soon. Still have access to prosperity, so that's one thing you need to notice about the ISIS. Still has access to prosperity, so his economy is actually technically 1,000 gold stronger than it appears, because he can cost that prosperity at any time, so long as he has access to a gold mine. But what Shelty can do at this point is fight kind of under the town center fire. He's totally fine with taking town center fire if he's got the army advantage here, which he does. Pick off all of these slingers, pick off all of this army, keep the army low of Joe, and go for a gold starve. If we jump over to Shelty's perspective and check the fog of war, he does know where all the gold mines on the map are. So he could be totally fine here in order to grab this location. He could be totally fine. So we'll see if that's what's going to happen there. But he's going to be retreating at this point back into his town center, picking off some of those Anubites, and he's going to manage to pick that one off. So unfortunately for Joe, some poor micro there, losing some free units. But Joe has managed to get in front on the score, so his economy has kicked into overdrive. He's going to be hitting that heroic age soon. He's got so many villages on these pigs that he needs to start transitioning into farms, which he doesn't really have the gold for just yet, but he can take these villages off, move them over here. If all these villages have a fair amount of food, which they do, he can jump straight to that heroic age, going through Nephthys as the standard. Not really feeling like going second at this tournament. I do love seeing some second play with those scarabs, getting some slinger advancements, bone crossbow or bone bow. Such good technologies, but nobody can really fathom even grabbing it simply because of how powerful Ancestors is. So we are seeing some of those Terma moving in. Going to be picking off the Slingers. Jump back over to Shelty's perspective. Shelty's got way too much wood. I'm not sure if this is on purpose, if he's saving it for something, but having 1,200 wood is not something you want to do. You just take some of these villages off wood, build some farms, and readjust your economy. He can actually have access to getting the second town center if he gets the gold, but he's going to be spamming units until he gets that 130 of 130. He's going to be searching around here, but really he should be sending his villages or his army over to this location or this location. Joe's in a really terrifying spot at this point. If he can't hang on to that gold mine, it's going to be game over, but it looks like the army fight is not looking for gold mines at all, looking for army, looking for trades. This isn't a fight you want to be taking if you're Shelty. You don't have all your army here. All of Joe's army is here, and those slingers deal so much damage to those Terma, and they get picked off so fast. We're seeing Prosperity getting cast. A little bit of a fake Prosperity there, casting in his base. As you can see, the lightning bolt goes off on the map. And it looks like he's still in his base, but we are seeing Ancestors does get cast here. I'm not sure if it's... I like that. Casting Ancestors before you have a siege weapon out. Generally, your opponent can just retreat, garrison his army into the town center, and then there's not much you can do as ISIS just to push forward. But it looks like we're going for it as the ISIS players, causing that distraction. We're seeing some villages move forward into this large gold mine. So much gold's going to pour in for Joe. Joe can potentially... he doesn't have the food. I was going to say Joe could potentially go straight to the Mythic Age at this point because his economy is so strong, but he doesn't have the food. But he's going to have the gold super fast. These villages, I believe, also... Even though the mining camp is cast is built after Prosperity, I believe they still get access to Prosperity going super fast. Yes, they do, getting those extra gold for every hit. So that was a lot of gold that Joe managed to get there. Joe is going to have to stop on this push, retreat back. You do see siege weapons coming out now. Siege towers are out. Migdol strongholds going down. It is in the range of the town center, but this town center is not enough to stop it at this point. With 5 villages, it goes up fast enough, but it's going to be fairly low HP when it's built. So potentially grab some more villages, move them over here. Deciding to delete that one instead, maybe a little bit overzealous with that placement of the Migdol stronghold. These slingers are in an awful position though. They're going to be able to retreat with only losing a couple of them. The town center is going to do a bit of damage. Those Terma also going to be doing a bit of damage. Siege tower moving in now, but you don't really want to be doing that attack just yet. The citizen is so strong. You can pick those guys off super fast. A little bit of a garrison trick there in order to save some of those slingers, but they're going to be slowed down by the tower, siege tower as well. A lot of those units are going to fall at this point in the game. Shelty sitting at 130 population, building up a couple more of those barracks. Not too close to the heroic age at this point in the game. We're seeing another Migdol stronghold going up for Joe. He's going to be attempting to defend this location here. If this Migdol stronghold is definitely going up, get that Terma to be picking off the Pharaoh to slow it down, but in the end, this is going to be too much. We are seeing heavy slingers are out at this point. They do have 17 range. I believe that's one of those changes that they got in the Voobly balance patch. If you get heavy slingers, you get an extra couple of I believe you get an extra couple of LOS in range. You get 1 LOS and 1 range, and then champion slingers, you get 1 LOS and 1 range as well. So it's pretty good. Slingers are super strong. They can attack from afar, which is great, as opposed to the Termas, which can't. We are seeing those siege towers again moving in, but deciding not to. The citizens get pulled off the wood line there, and they're going to be able to scare those guys off. But the Mermill are going to be trying to pick off a couple of these villages, and they're doing a fairly good job. The Migdol stronghold is a little bit slow. Doesn't do all too much damage to those guys, especially when they move. It does miss quite a few of those arrows, but we are seeing the Promethean and everything else going to pick these guys off. The siege towers moving in at this point. There's only 2 citizens here, and with all of these arrows flying at the citizens, it's going to be a little bit too much there for Shelty to deal with. Shelty needs to move a couple more of these units in. He's using that shockwave to stop the town center from going out down. Needs to get some more citizens in, move those guys up to these siege towers, and start really trying to pick these siege towers off with those citizens. There's maybe just too many siege towers at this point, and the army is so small for some reason from Shelty. What's he doing with this army? He's building that 3rd town center though. It's going to be back to his 2nd town center. But I'm not sure what happened to Shelty's army. I feel like he might have over-economized, and he's in a bit of a rough position at this point. So he's going to have to move these Murmillo in, attempt to pick off the slingers, attempt to pick off the chariot archers, but it just may be a little bit too much. This town center is going to be going over to Joe, and Joe's economy is huge at this point in the game. He does not have the gold now in order to build to be able to get the Mythic Age, but he does have the food to sell out a super strong trade route and keep that economy going even further ahead. And at this point, Shelty is going to be really struggling to stay in this game, especially if he loses this town center to Joe. He's not really going to be able to get that one back until maybe even the Mythic Age. So he's going to have to go for a very fast Mythic, go for those what do you call it? Go for the Tartarian Gate distraction play in order to get it back and see if he can manage that. But there's maybe just too many units here. Joe's sitting at 136 of 136 population. Does not have that second gold mine coming up just yet. How's his economy looking? He doesn't have shaft mine. Could potentially just stop production of slingers, stop production of siege towers for just a little bit and fix up that economy. Also, building a market would be a great idea. Could start trading the food in order for some more gold. Get to that Mythic Age a little bit earlier. Either go through Thoth or Son of Osiris. Son of Osiris, super strong unit, would not be able to defend against that Son of Osiris at this point in the game. Also, Thoth would be super strong to cast in the base of Shelty. Just to pick off the farms, pick off the manors, and maybe even do some damage to that town center. So we'll see what he does choose to do. Again, no market just yet for Joe. I'm not sure what's going on there. We are seeing town center going up for Joe, though. Sitting at 2,500 food is insane. That's just unheard of. His economy is not in the right place, but it just means he's so far ahead he can't spend the resources fast enough. Or I guess his economy is just a little bit out of balance. And also he hasn't got economic upgrades in order to fix that balance, but that's life. We do see that Shelty, again, trying to pick off the units of Joe, but his army is just a little bit too weak at this point, and he's thrown away too many units. Losing that town center is huge. Joe's now at 3 town centers, going to be hitting the 154 of 154 population super fast. Going to be able to grab this town center as well. Again, still, where's your market? It's free. Just get one villager, build the market. I feel like maybe Joe is not taking the finals that seriously. Maybe, I'm not sure. He thinks he's super far ahead and there's no way he's going to lose. But Shelty is a slimy player. He can really sneak wins here and there. The Watchtower is going down for Shelty. Temple's going to be going down next, and then all of the rest of the base to follow. Joe is got so many resources in the bank at this point. So we're going to see what he can do here. We do see the Termite attempting to pick off those chariot archers, but the siege towers, there's so many of them. 4 siege towers, citizens coming off the line there. Thea has come through for Shelty. So Shelty can now build that Hesperids tree and start readjusting the population differential there, because Dryads cost no population. Building 5 of those Dryads. Dryads are kind of like a myth unit. They're kind of like worth 3 population there. So you can essentially get to, if you're on 130 population, you can essentially get to what I like to call basically you could get to 145. So if your opponent's on 3 town centers, you get a full population army with those Dryads. You can get 145 population to 145 population and be in a nice place to win the game there or come back. We are seeing this fight is going on at this point. Going to be attempting to pick off all the units of Joe, but Joe's holding really well. He's got some priests out all ready to deal with those Dryads and those chariot archers and everything else. Doing very, very well. Shelty getting that market up all ready for jump back over to Joe's perspective. Joe going through Osiris. Finally got that market up, and where is his Pharaoh? Pharaoh is here. Does not have the City of the Dead just yet. Does have access to it though. Can build it very, very quickly. City of the Dead does give access to a very strong Son of Osiris. You get a bonus of, I think it's 10% on the Pharaoh, and then the multiplier for the Son of Osiris is added, I think, or it might just be like a flat amount of HP. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments how that works. Going to be garrisoning that Son of Osiris, and we're seeing just to save him until he hits the Mythic Age. But the army of Shelty is fading drastically here. Once Son of Osiris comes out, those Dryads start dying super fast, especially with Chain Lightning. And it's super difficult for Shelty to continue in this game. However, not out of the game just yet. Does have a nice army composition with those Murmillo in order to deal with what Shelty has. Shelty doesn't have Axemen, so Murmillo super strong counter of the army. Has a lot of War Elephants, which die super fast to Murmillo, as well as the Slingers, which don't really do all too much to the Murmillo either. Shelty going to be looking to go to his own Mythic Age as well, probably through we're looking at going, yep, through Hecate, going to have access to that Tartarian gate in order to be building that somewhere. But with monuments placed up, it's hard to put much on that. You can just chuck a monument up here and it'll be pretty much completely defended. Joe hitting that Mythic age there through Osiris, going to be moving his units up to this location here, attempting to pick off that town center. And we're going to see this fight is going to come in at this point in the game. A couple of idle villages here as well. Moving in, Son of Osiris, picking off a bunch of units, right, well, just that one Mermilla. We're seeing a bunch of chariot archers coming in as well. Joe marching over to this town center at this point. Is this going to be enough? We're seeing the Mermillo moving up here, attempting to fight. Going to be going for that one last fight. Nice shockwave there. Misses a bunch of units though, attempting to surround the Son of Osiris, but with the siege tower there, going to be able to get that guy out super fast. And he's going to be back to that, doing that damage. We're seeing Termo move in. Nice positioning from the Termo, able to pick off all of those chariot archers. Mummy coming in though. That's going to be difficult to deal with. Mummy is going to be able to kill off one of those guys super fast. Moving over to pick off one of those Mermillo instead and getting those ancestors out. Those Termo got picked off so fast. Mummy going to be picking off another one of those Termo, and the entire army of Shelty is gone. Joe taking the game. Going to be the winner of the RTS-Sanctuary Christmas tournament. Played this game super well. Put on that pressure super early. Shelty could not deal with it. Had a forward exposed gold mine, and it was way too much. So Joe taking the game there. Crowned RTS-Sanctuary Christmas tournament winner. Shelty takes second place in 4-3 being the final score there. So that is awesome that we managed to get a full game there. Please stick around for the next couple of videos. We've got the 3rd place and 4th place match between Matthias and Brickhead to play. So we'll see who takes that. And then we might move on to something else. Please, if you want to start suggesting something else to be casting, you can send me private messages. You can send comments in the thing. Definitely enjoy watching and shoutcasting games, so it's definitely not the end of my YouTube channel at this point. But if you did enjoy the game, please rate, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to see my videos as soon as they come out. My name's Boit, and I'll see you guys next time.